Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Tiny Hobo. I want to thank you for your great responses to my journal last time. I will get back to everybody. There's a lot to take in. I mean, you guys blew my fucking mind. I don't know. I think it's just because I'm a total voyeur and a perv that, having people that I care about, open up to me and say, hey, this is what gets me off. This is what inspires me to touch myself. This is why I do it. And you let me in. In the words of Paris Hilton, that's hot. Well, it is. I mean, it's not like I went and fapped it after I got offline, but it's something very sexual, very intimate about knowing things like that. No. I don't know. I'm kind of blushing now, actually. So I got my SG hoodie in the mail today, and I didn't wash it because I'm a scumbag, but it was free, and it's cool, and it's comfortable as hell, and yay for Martini for taking that fantastic picture of me that got me this fantastic hoodie. I would split it with you, but, well, I like it too much to cut in half. My questions today are as follows. Music is probably one of the most important things to me. And that's part of the reason why I asked you guys for bands last time around. I know everybody has hobbies. And it's kind of like a good beer or a good wine and a good food, for me anyway. Listening to music and doing my hobby, it's a perfect pairing, It's like a good porter and a tasty steak. So, when you're listening to certain music, does it make you go to certain places? Do you listen to jazz when you write? Do you listen to hip-hop when you're working out? You know what I mean? What creates what? Is it that your hobbies make you lean towards certain music, or when you're listening to certain music, does it inspire you to do certain hobbies? This is probably the most backwards way for me to ask this, but I'll give you an example. When I write, I listen to jazz. I listen to, the obvious Coltrane, Miles Davis, things like that. Then I'll listen, I like, if anybody, I don't know, if anybody's heard, I'm sure you've heard of them, you might not listen to them, but somebody like Medeski, Martin, and Wood, or like DJ Logic with Medeski, Martin, and Wood, or Soul Live, John Schofield, Weather Report, things along that line. If I'm going to be writing, I like to let go, and I like to really, for the most part, when I write, it's Medeski, Martin, and Wood. I mean, that's kind of the ultimate for me. It's, even if my writing's dark, it's a very sexual experience. It's very, you're opening up in a way that you would if you were giving your body to somebody. So, when I listen to Medeski, Martin, Wood, I kind of get horny, if that makes sense. Yeah, so, does your music link you to your pastimes? I know there's people that have playlists for certain activities. Is that a better way to describe it, I guess? Bear with me, I just got back from a work trip, so I'm a little exhausted. My next question is high school. Some of you it wasn't that long ago, some of you it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever. I graduated in 99. I'm 26. Was high school everything that you were told it was going to be when you were a kid? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but my parents explained it to me that it was going to be the time of your life. There wasn't going to be anything better, and it was going to be this huge defining moment. For me, it was kind of anticlimactic, and I was incredibly miserable. I mean, some of it was my own doing, because I tried so hard to butt heads because I thought I was smarter than everybody in the room. Maybe I was, but it didn't get me anywhere. And we moved, and in 4 years I did 3 high schools, so it wasn't really good for making friends, so I just made personalities. And everywhere I went, I was a different person. And I had fun with it. But that's why, I won't be going to a high school reunion ever. And I don't have any friends from high school because of things like that. I did theater. I smoked dope. I had sex. I wrote music. I was in 3 or 4 bands at the time. I did photography. So, that's that. Not that exciting, I think everybody, there's people that still, I have friends whose fathers still, to this day, talk about high school. And they have high school friends that they go out with every Friday night and get drunk like they did 30 years ago. And I just don't see the thrill in that. But then again, I don't see the thrill in most things. Jesus Christ, this fucking tea's as big as my head. Sorry. Anyhow, I know that wasn't as interesting as last time, and I'm incredibly sorry. Like I said, I'm a little drowsy. But I don't know. My playlist for today was Tegan and Sarah, The Con, that album, Icky Thump, a soul coughing mix that I made a couple years ago, Miles Davis, and Whiskey Town. So, I'm sure you've heard of everyone I just discussed, and if you haven't, you need to, because I said so. Anyway, I love you guys. Hope all's well. And do me a favor, because I just thought of this. One more question. The last person you slept with. Why? Never mind. That's not the proper wording. The last time you had sex. We'll go this way. The last time you had sex with somebody. What was the one thing that they did, if you remember, that drove you absolutely wild? What was the one thing that, if you remember this, if there was this, the one thing that they did that you went, oh, please don't bother. That's horrible. Oh. Just food for thought. You don't have to respond. Some of you don't feel comfortable talking about sex in a forum such as my journal. I understand. I'm a nosy bitch. You can tell me. But it is what it is. I will spaz dance. I promise. I promise. I promise. I love you guys. Keep an eye out. I'm going to start posting some of the stuff that I've been writing, just so you guys can say, hey, guess what? You suck. Or, that's really cool. Here's some ideas. So, keep an eye out. I love you.